Welcome back. So today, I did two really short paragraphs again, and I kind of went into like a small blurb of what happened after everyone got burnt on fire or died in the fire, and like him coming to the realization that he is dead, and like how he feels about that situation. But then I don't really know how to like end it for tomorrow. Maybe that's something that I'll have to like think about for tonight and tomorrow morning. I'll just think about how to like transition it to an ending. But I also thought that this could be the ending, and in between, I can make like tomorrow, I could just make better transitioning paragraphs between paragraphs. If that makes sense, because like it does a lot of jumping, and I don't really do much description going into the next paragraph, which is I feel like it's fine also. But I'll guess I'll just decide what I end up doing. You'll see tomorrow. But let me read this first paragraph. This is your life after the fire. So remember yesterday, uh, we learned that his family got lit on fire and they got burnt up, and he was like super sad about it, and he was like still reminiscing about the girl that was like trying to comfort him, and his like childhood sweetheart that was like his neighbor. So she probably had like a pretty traumatic incident too, that I didn't even go into that, but she probably had like a traumatic incident too, since she was like the neighbor, and they're probably the one that like called the fire department and all that. So that's something that he also didn't realize. This is your life after the fire, from family to family, a despondent child who knew nothing of the world, thrown into the unknown. Battered and wounded, you are tasked to find love and happiness after yours has been taken away by the world itself. No one to blame but yourself for not being there with them, having the thought ingrained in you that you should have been there with them, to feel what they must have felt, the fire of life consuming them. So you cause trouble, you seek rejection, you fear love as it was and must find love as it is. The love you found, fire, all consuming fire. The fire of dejection, the fire of injection. You succumb to those around you, you feed yourself with the lies they hold, the broken promises of a better tomorrow. Just one more hit will make the pain go away. Just one more hit will let you feel how it was to stay in that fire that you dream nightly, replacing your mother's paintings with images of red, feelings of flame. Just one more hit to make the lover more appeasing. Just one more hit to forget that you don't know how to feel. This is the path that you chose, and you chose it sparingly. Like any organism, this was the path of least resistance, the path that held no hatred towards you, no love towards you, just amicability and freezing fire. I thought this was a cool word. It means like to feel warmth, to feel like neighborly, to feel comfort in something. So I thought it was like a nice juxtaposition between freezing fire and having the feeling of warmth. And I did this in like the third person, basically like this person that was talking to him, that he was watching, which is himself watching himself grow in the womb, um basically narrating how he went from a sweet child to just seeking comfort in something else, since he has nothing else that he can seek comfort through. And then on the second paragraph, I went into the first person, and him accepting that this is how he chose to essentially comfort himself. Like this is how he found, happiness in life, and to continue living until that took his life away. I did choose that, didn't I? It was easy, easier than anything. The orphanage wasn't bad. The people weren't bad. Everyone felt sorry for me. They all loved me in their own way, asking, "Are you okay?" Giving me food when I looked malnourished, giving me warmth when I shook from the sweat. The hospitals weren't bad. They helped me too. They did everything they could to let me live, to come clean and become anew. Yet I chose the path I thought that was so hard to do, to wallow and not drag anyone new. Yet I did drag cigarette after lover and needle after needle. I was always loved, just in ways I didn't care for. If only I'd taken the time I had realized and If only I'd taken the time I had and realized I had more time to give, I wouldn't have wasted so much of it wallowing in my own sorrow. At last it's over. I can finally see you all once more. The dreams are fading and I know my moment is done. I cannot be happy or sad for the way things were. I can only be glad to see you all once more. I can only be me from years ago, running up and down that tree. I can only be me that cried in bed when the night was too long. I hope you take me for me rather than what I was. I hope. So this is like him, realizing that if if only he like took the time to really appreciate the fact that, he is alive, he has a chance at life, and saw the, at least give himself time to grieve like he was doing, but not only grieve and see the fact that he's alive and he can, respect his family's dreams and whatever they were, and that he could have like lived and moved on with his life and be all he could be and all that jazz, and that there were other people that did love him, that, were doing things for him even though they didn't need to, that were trying to help him, that there were good people out there. And I think the main problem that he had was that he had no one to blame. So he was really seeking something to blame, which ended up being himself. Since, it's a fire, it's a natural disaster. You can't really blame a natural disaster, but you can blame a shooter with a gun. You can blame a mugger with a knife. You can always have someone to hate towards when things like that happen. But when it's natural causes like this, when someone just dies of old age, when someone dies from a fire, when someone, that's not arsony, when someone dies from something that you have no control over, I feel like this is a very likely scenario that could happen to anyone. So that's why I typed that blurb for him. And like I was saying, I don't really know how to really end it. Maybe the last paragraph is him getting resuscitated, like like he thinks like it's all over, and then maybe I just bring him back to life with the power of typing. I just bring him back to life, and then I don't really know like how that could work, because this is probably not, since if he's been hospitalized, this is not his first time, but maybe this is his closest of almost dying, so it could alter his life and change him. So we could potentially go that route in like a redemption route, or we could just let him die. But I guess we'll see. Or like I said, I could just end it here, somewhat open ended, and not a true ending. One of those like, those writers that don't put an ending in their stuff, and it's like open ended. It's up to the reader, but they just don't want to end their story. So maybe I will end it, and tomorrow I'll just do one paragraph ending it, and then I'll go back and do a little bit more editing, better transitions maybe. So we'll see. But all right, thanks for watching.